Greetings singers, Sarah D. Young here. Today we are going to be talking about the straw. The straw is the singer's best friend. I have my students hum through this thing all the time. The straw is my favorite example of what we call a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. Point of clarification, it's technically not a hum. It would be more appropriate to say to vocalize through this straw because, as you'll learn later in the video, you don't want any extra air to exit through your nose, and when you hum, it needs to. It was Dr. Ingot who really studied the semi-occluded vocal tract exercises and discovered, now I'm going to do some direct quoting here, he discovered that semi-occluded vocal tracts maximize the interaction between the sound source, the vocal fold vibration, and the filter, which is the vocal tract. Vocal folds and the muscles in the vocal tract learn the most efficient position and shape for self-sustained phonation. I want you to think of your vocal cords as a valve. When we sing, a lot of pressure comes up from the bottom, causing the cords to react to that pressure by reshaping a little bit. When we hum through a small space, it also causes pressure to head back towards our cords from above so that they return to the optimal position for the most efficient sound production. Not only does the straw help reposition our vocal cords, but it also helps to reposition the vocal tract to make the sound self-sustaining. Think of when you are swinging, rather than having someone push you over and over and over again, you learn to pump your legs to help maintain the swing's momentum. That makes the semi-occluded vocal tract exercises wonderful for recovery and preservation. If you have a job that requires a lot of speaking or singing, then your voice may get fatigued. It's also good for the aging voice, or if your voice is injured. This will help be able to exercise it in a healthy way. It's also good for ear training because it offers some kinesthetic feedback and allows you to repeat exercises a lot without getting fatigued. My favorite use for the semi-occluded vocal tract exercises is to help bring balance between the registers. If you slide down from your head voice to your chest voice, you might feel a little hiccup in there, or a big one. We tend to treat our head voice, our singy voice, and our chest voice a little bit differently. This straw helps us to treat them the same so that they can interact together in harmony. It does need to be a small straw. It can't really be a big fat one because the space needs to be really tiny. But it can be a metal one or a bendy. Bendy is fine too, as long as the circumference is small. Now, if you don't have a straw on you, you could always do a lip trill, a raspberry, or you could hum through a V, or an NG. Sing. I like to access that one sometimes for those with a lot of tongue tension. If you say the word sung or sing, it really helps pop the tongue into place. As you're doing this exercise, it's best if no air is escaping other than through that small space. So keep your lips pretty tight. Maybe think of a B sound. And also don't let any air escape through your nose. So if you want to double check that, you should feel a little vibration in the straw as you perform these exercises. You also need to be aware that support is still important through this. We don't want to collapse and we still need that steady squeeze of support to make sure that our sound and our air are coming out evenly. A great exercise is to simply slide from your lowest to your highest and then back down again. If you do that a few times a day, it'll really help stretch your range in a healthy fashion. One thing I like to do with my students is just slide down. Just slide down a fifth. And again, I like to start from top to bottom so that we can draw those head tones into your chest ear area and not get too heavy down low. Another thing you can do is you can take it on a song. If there's any parts in the song that are causing you stress, this is a great way to relieve that stress as you're practicing it. So let's try it on My Country 'Tis of Thee. The best thing about semi-occluded vocal tract exercises is that you can do them from just about anywhere. For instance, if you're sitting in traffic, you can carve out some recovery time that might have otherwise been vocally wasted. So grab a straw and have some fun.